took my love so tenderly. We are back in the Lighthouse Diary. No makeup whatsoever again, but freshly washed hair. Just had to make a little shout out to one of my OG one of my OG inspirations, Miss Rosemary Clooney, now singing among the choir of angels. As I'm recording this entry, but still feel, vicariously connected to her through her music, obviously, and I don't mean to brag, but I'm kind of Instagram family with her son, her daughter, and her grandson, I believe. So that's the only clout I got in this life. That's the only clout, I can assure you. The only clout. I guess besides my college diploma, but like I don't really see my college diploma as my college diploma. I literally, as soon as I got it through the mail, I was just like, yes, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't really care, and then I just gave it to my mom because I just decided to finish school just to, have this nagging feeling of, oh, I need to go to school, I need to go to school, get it done and over with, and never have to think about it again. But I got time. Unless by some kind of happenstance there I come across, a life experience that convinces me, okay, maybe you should consider becoming a teacher. I mean, that is if I, you know, find something that I'm good enough to teach, then yeah, by all means. But other than that, like, I wouldn't want to go to school. Other than that, really go back to school. Other than that, like, uh, okay, just a moment, just a quick moment. Yeah, I just needed to update my diary entry of the day because I'm just trying to make sure that I don't completely lose sense of time. Yeah, because if being cisgender female like myself, I don't, I don't know. For some reason, if I'm just timing things based on my cycle, the the monthly cycle, I don't know. For me, I find it. I don't know. it, it's stressful to me for some reason. I don't know. Okay. So today I was, as Emma Stone's character from Maniac was saying, I was having a day today. Yeah, nothing bad necessarily happened. I mean, I just got a bit of a sarcastic, cutthroat message in my inbox, but other than that, today was quite lovely. In fact, it was just more of, okay, I need to focus on, well, not focus on, but I have to shed some light on some recurring memories from my childhood that well, more like my tweenhood that kind of just left a mark on me. Well, here, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, I used my typical tactic, my typical strategy of doing a bit of spiritual research, I guess you could say, and that has balanced it out quite a bit. It also helped when I was just trying to entertain slash stimulate my mind and my eyes. Y'all know I love me some eye candy. Y'all know I love me some eye candy. It's not gender specific, by the way. Just putting that out there. And it's not species specific either. um, yeah, I, excuse me. I think it's pretty obvious by now that I have, an affinity for cuteness in animals, in people, in things in general. So, um, oh yeah, sorry. Back on topic, Kaylee Lighthouse is all about the tangents, right? So, it really helped as I was trying to just, keep myself entertained, uh, as anyone would by watching TV. Or in my case, it would be, catching up on my watch later list. Um, and I was thinking to myself, okay, Kaylee, just for this moment, pretend that you're not Kaylee. Pretend that you're not the person, with these memories that kind of put a stain on your heart. Just pretend that you're an observer right now. Yes, low key trying to implement uh, Muji's uh, core teachings about, being empty from, I guess, the typical day to day anxieties. And it actually helped quite a bit. And it helped me to laugh a little bit more, which, we could always use that little extra dose of laughter just to function in a day. Or that's how I feel. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie, I shed a few tears today as well. But it wasn't so much tears of pain. Thankfully, it was more tears of relief. Um, I don't know if I should even talk about it, but why not? I'll just mention it really quickly. I don't think it's a secret that I failed in pursuing God via the traditional Christian faith. And there's just a part of me that accepted, quite a few years plus ago, that, what, I'm just not it. I'm just not, you know, I'm just not the real deal in that respect. I mean, I might have had, a friend or two ask me if I was Christian, and I wouldn't know what to say. However, that didn't stop me from, finding comfort in a Christian message that I came across today, which was surprisingly considerate of mental health as well. And I was blown away because a lot of the time there's going to be misrepresentation through media and probably through peer groups and that kind of thing, where Christianity has kind of a bad rap for not being so sound or not being so friendly in terms of mental health. But I am so grateful that there's content and people out there that prove that wrong. You know, even though I consider myself, and probably society considers me, a Christian failure, you know. But yeah, that's one of those things where I am 100 billion% okay with being wrong. In terms of, you know, that whole conflict between, you know, faith and wellness. But yeah, I'll be honest with you. This has been something that I would carry ever since I was, you know, a littler girl. I'm quite short. If I were to stand up right now, you would know, like, yeah, Kaylee's short, but it's not a secret. It's not a secret, and I'm quite short. But there are days where I feel tall. That might surprise people, but there are days where I feel um normal height, like 5'7", when I'm actually quite smaller than that in stature. I have those days. I don't know, don't ask. Some days I might even feel 5'11", but even though I've never been 5'11" in my life, obviously, uh but yeah, I would carry this weight inside of me ever since I was littler. Just every single mistake that I made leading up to now was worth being laughed at, worth being made fun of. But yeah, this isn't gonna be, you know, an expose kind of thing. No. But yeah, I just decided to myself to, you know, on a personal basis, to call myself out a little bit, letting myself know that this feeling of never measuring up to authorities, to establishments, to institutions, to even peers' standards, other peers' standards. It's not a recent thing. It's nothing new for me personally. And I have to heal. I know I gotta heal from it. I mean, that's not to say that I'm going to completely disregard that, you know, people have standards. But at the end of the day, I want to keep in mind at the same time even my standards in the grand scheme of things, you know, don't actually matter. Because the thing is, what do you call it? I'm trying to find the right words, as usual. There's always this teeny tiny voice inside of me that is trying to reassure me that life itself is actually inherently benevolent. And I don't, I kind of disagree. Yeah, part of me just disagrees that life is meant to test us. I don't know why that idea just never sat right with me, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this question just came off the top of my head just now. But then again, a lot of what I do here is fairly spontaneous. It's barely planned a lot of the time, as you probably have noticed by now. Because the thing is, if this life is, meant to test us and meant for struggle, meant for hardship and that kind of thing, when in reality, I'm pretty sure the only species on this planet that has ever created hardship was us human beings. Let's be real, right? Um, I really do feel like we're the only species that has an understanding of what strife is, because I feel like we invented it. We invented strife, did we not? Whereas with other creatures, it's more about, you know, their survival and yeah. And what I was meaning to add to that was I really okay, let me just preface what I'm about to say. I've I've been really trying to figure out the balance between, you know, the importance of, the outside versus the and the importance of the inside, and which one counts more at the end of the day. Well, it's not really so much a conscious thing, it's kind of more of a subconscious thing. I I don't know, there's part of me that feels like life isn't necessarily about, how we're judged for our choices, you know, whether we're making choices choices regardless of whether we're making choices out of our own autonomy, or, choices based on what we're taught to believe is important. I don't know, part of me feels deep down that all of that is kind of irrelevant. Because, I don't know, I feel, spiritually speaking, I'm not, an expert or a guru or anything like that, obviously. But I low key wonder to myself if, regardless of, how we are externally, that what's going on inside of us actually colors what's happening outside. Does that make sense? That our intention and what's inside of our heart and how we actually feel, if we are to be judged, um, from a spiritual standpoint, I feel like we would be judged by what's in our heart, you know, in our hearts, excuse me. I don't know. I'm really just trying to figure that out, pretty much. Yeah, I don't want to make it too detailed. But let's be real. Sometimes, you know, great things can be done, but the motives, the intentions, the feelings, the beliefs in someone's heart, it's possible for that to contrast with the good that they're doing outside. And the same could be true vice versa. And every every other possibility in between. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not to say that it doesn't matter if you've been, or if I've, it doesn't, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter if I've been a jerk to somebody. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just referring to actions, things that we do, outside of whether it's good or bad. It's just stuff that we do. Like, you know, just any ordinary thing. And yeah, outside of, you know, just anything. Like, say, for example, I guess how you might present yourself when talking to other people. I was just thinking out loud. And I guess if I'm being really specific, how we might, serve others or ourselves, or a combination of both. Take it how you will. I'll be honest, I'm kind of in a not so trusting mood. Not with the majority of people in my life currently, but more of those who used to be a fairly big part of my life. And I guess what I'm low-key trying to say is that I question in the back of my mind the motives of those who are no longer, those in my life who I no longer allow in. I mean, not that I'm one to judge, obviously, of course, I've had my share of transgressions, and I probably, still transgress without even knowing. But yeah, thankfully I revisited a vlog from the recovery community, specifically recovery from narcissistic abuse. Yeah, her name is Radhika, by the way. And she was talking about how the best thing to do is to basically make whatever pain, and I guess in my case, confusion that was caused, to make it as irrelevant to my goings on as much as possible. I'm working on it. It's very sound advice, but yeah, it takes time. It takes time to, well, in my case, to overcome things that I internalized and believed about myself, even if there was proof of the contrary. That internalized belief that I would receive or be the butt of, to be completely honest, that would become the default in my mind, unfortunately, regardless of what would actually happen in my life outside of, those relationships where I didn't feel the love, to put it bluntly. So yeah, just a little mental health check-in. But yeah, I'm recording this a lot earlier than when you're seeing it, so I should be fine by the time that you're seeing this. But yeah, I figured, okay, just sometimes it just helps to call myself out when something is just too draining or too heavy, because why not? You gotta take the load off. I mean, not to give it to you, but just letting you know what's up. Okay. So, thank you for chilling with me once again in the Lighthouse Diary. As usual, stay safe, stay cozy, stay sincere to your sexy self. And last but not least, can I hit that note? That's it. Oh my gosh. I just sounded like I was trying to yawn and then it just didn't happen. Is there such thing as a failed yawn? I guess there is now. I will see you next time.